Mais um Entusiasta Talks começando diretamente da Casa Engenheiro aqui em São Paulo, pré-Grande Prêmio de Interlagos, e a WC me convidou para entrevistar um piloto do time Mercedes AMG Petronas de Fórmula 1. Espero que vocês curtam esse vídeo. Obrigado, IWC, e vem comigo.
With the go-kart when I was 7 years old, and in a blink just found myself racing in Formula One. So it's been crazy how quick it went, but it's been an incredible journey so far.
The next watch?
Well, the Ocean is on the way, but next one is gonna be the Engineer.
So you didn't receive that yet, and you're already thinking about the next one?
Yeah, of course, always thinking ahead.
Kimi, welcome to São Paulo. Hope you are having a great time. I'd like to thank IWC as well for making this talk possible. Kimi, how excited are you for the São Paulo Grand Prix?
Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. It's really nice to be here in Sao Paulo. It's actually not my first time. I've been here last year with the team, but it's gonna be my first time driving on track, and really looking forward. You know, it's we're in the land of my home. You know, my racing hero, which was is Ayrton, and super excited to be hitting the track, and I think the atmosphere is gonna be amazing.
So you began from karts in Bologna to Formula One at 18. Did it feel fast or simply inevitable?
It felt very quick. The journey still feels like yesterday. The old go-kart days. It's been a long journey, but it went by very, very quick. I remember when I first went for a race with the go-kart when I was 7 years old, and in a blink just found myself racing in Formula One. So it's been crazy how quick it went, but it's been an incredible journey so far.
And when people talk about pressure, how do you manage the pressures of day-to-day alongside your racing commitments?
Yeah, of course, it's not easy because obviously as a driver you're representing such a big brand which is Mercedes, but then you represent IWC in this case. You represent so many big brands, and you feel the need, and you feel like you have to deliver in order to also fulfill the expectations. So it's not easy because you're constantly living with this pressure. But if you're able to embrace it, and then you're able to deal it without any problem. But what I do as a driver, is just focusing on myself, on the process, trying to do everything right, as close as possible to perfection. And then I know if I do all these things right, then the result will come by itself.
Nice. And I don't know if you agree, but Formula One is about performance and extracting every millisecond all the time. What has been your biggest learning this year?
My biggest learning this year has been, just really trying to, as I was talking before, trying to focusing on the process, on what I have to do, working well with the team, managing the energies well during the race weekend, which is something that initially you don't think about it, but as you go through the season, especially when you do, back-to-back races, it's really important to be able to manage this energy in order to be always 100% when you go on the car. And then, as I said before, focusing on the process, working well with the team, eating well, sleeping well, all these little things that makes the difference.
And after a race weekend, whether you had a strong performance or not, how do you work with the team to ensure the morale is high and you bounce back ready for the next weekend?
Yeah, of course, whatever the race weekend go, however the race weekend goes, it's after every race, unless it's a back-to-back, I always go back to the factory with the team. We analyze the race. We analyze in detail when went well and what went wrong. and then we try to understand why something went well and why something went wrong, and then in order to have a better understanding and to learn and to move forward. But definitely, after every race weekend, I always, spend some time with the engineer, with the team, and we try to go through the race again in order to understand where we can improve and where we can learn for the next time.
Does time in the car fly by, or do you feel like everything is in slow motion?
Obviously, the first time you try Formula One, it's everything just goes super fast. It's crazy that the speed of the car is actually pretty scary the first laps, because it's just so quick that your brain just needs to get up to speed. But then once you get at ease with the car and everything, then obviously everything around kind of slow down. So it kind of gets to a slower pace, and you realize you have more time to think and to realize what's going on. So at first it always feels very fast, but then once you get used to it, it actually feels normal.
Since we're here with IWC, a little bird told me that your first watch with the team was the Top Gun Woodlands Green. Which is your favorite IWC watch?
I love the pilot's watches, but obviously also I think the engineer really fits me well. I really like that one, and so that's my favorite. I've ordered a blue Oceania watch.
I heard that
which
as well.
which is on the way. It's also really nice. It's a bit smaller than the pilot, but at the same time, it's also blue, which is my favorite color. So really looking forward to get that one.
About precision, tenths and thousandths on track versus microns in watchmaking. Does this obsession resonates with a F1 driver?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think the world of watches is, despite being very different to Formula One, it's actually very, very similar. Because obviously, when you build a race car, everything has to be super precise, has to be perfect. From the carbon material to the suspension to the geometry, everything has to be within perfection, and it's the same with watches. I've never been at the Schaffhausen, but I would really like to go and see how a watch is built. But I can only imagine how many pieces there are inside a watch, and how precise you have to be when you build a watch in order to make it work perfectly. So I think they really resonate, the two words.
As the youngest driver in the grid, you obviously grew up with a phone telling time. Why does mechanical watches still matter for you?
I think having a watch is it's really nice, because first of all you can really express as well your personality, your style, and it's also nice look, and as well because nowadays with the technology we're so attached to our phones, even to look at the time of the day. I think having the watch as well really helps you not to detach a bit from the phone, and you can, by a simple move, you can really read the time on the watch, and you don't have to pick your phone up. So I think it's also a really nice way to not use your phone as much.
Since we are in São Paulo, Interlagos is all about the flow and the elevation of the track. What are you looking forward to about this style of track?
I think last year I had the chance to, even though I've never driven, I had the chance to walk the track, and what's amazed me was the elevation change, which you don't really feel on the sim, but obviously in real life is crazy. It's a nice track. You really need to have a nice flow. With the Senna S, you really need to place the car well, and then Sector 2 is all about taking the lines right, braking well. So it's not an easy track, but I think it's going to be a good fun to drive.
Since we are here together, I'm not going to lose the opportunity to ask you some quick questions. Instinct or data?
I go by instinct.
Chronograph or time only?
Time only.
Ceramic or titanium?
This is a tough one because obviously ceramic is a bit lighter, titanium is a bit shinier, to be fair. So it really depends by the mood, how you feel in the day. But I like light, so I will go with ceramic.
Interlagos or Monza?
This is a tough question. Well, to be fair, I prefer much more Imola than Monza, so I will go with Interlagos.
Black dial or green dial?
Black. I love black, even though I'm wearing green watch. But
The next watch?
well, the Ocean is on the way, but next one is gonna be the Engineer.
So you didn't receive that yet, and you're already thinking about the next one?
Yeah, of course, always thinking ahead.
3 to 5 years ahead, what type of driver would you like to become?
Well, definitely I would like to become a champion, to win a championship, hopefully more than one. Obviously, it's not gonna be easy, but that's the ultimate goal. Is all of us we race to win and we want to be the best. So the main goal is to win races and win championships.
And if you sat with the IWC design team to build your dream watch, what would it look like? Colors?
I really like the Engineer. Obviously, there's the two types, the 40mm and 35mm. I like more the 40mm because I have a small wrist, and 35mm is a bit too small, so the 40 fits really well. Shape-wise, I think round shape, similar to a Pilot's. And
Any
then
specific material?
Material, I will go ceramic,
Ceramic.
because I like the fact that it's light, that you don't feel it, and as well the strap, I will do the matching. And then also one cool thing that I would add on my watch, as obviously we travel at very high speed, it will be really cool to put around the circle, the speeds. Depending on what speed you're going, basically the watch tells you how many seconds it takes to do 1 kilometer.
Okay.
That will be
Nice.
that will be really nice.
Nice function to
if
have.
we have to do a real racing watch.
So we're going to take one audience question.
Ciao, Kimi. My name is Claudio. First of all, wish you good luck on the Sunday Grand Prix of this year, especially because you're carrying the number 12 in your car. So there are moments when Formula One puts a lot of pressure on your shoulder, especially in your first year. What really you do to reconnect yourself with the pure joy of driving and remember why you started?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good question. Obviously, nowadays F1 is very complicated because there's a lot of pressure, with the media. There's a lot of talks all the time. So it's really easy to get, and as well with social media, it's very easy to get distracted and to get affected. It's really important to really block all this noise around and to just, focus on yourself. And it's easy to forget. It's always to try and enjoy, also what you do, because it's not that you get the chance every day to drive a Formula One car, in your dream tracks, in front of hundreds of thousands of people and representing such a big brand. It doesn't happen every day. So you also have to remind yourself that you're very lucky to be there. Of course, you have to work hard for it, but you have to appreciate the opportunity and also to enjoy it. So it's not easy, but if you're able to remind yourself all these things and to really focus on those few details, then you're able to really put all the noise apart and to do your best.
Kimi, it was a pleasure hosting you here in São Paulo with IWC. I hope you have a great weekend in Interlagos and obviously enjoy the race. And I hope to see you in the podium.
Thank you so much, everyone. And I'll do my best this weekend and hopefully we can get a really good result.
Thank you, everyone.